Yo, it's Austin.
Yo, it's Jared.
We're here with the Dynasty Kings podcast, and we're going to do a little preview of the AFC.
For the 2022-2023 season.
That's right. Hard to believe, but it's only a month away. So let's go ahead and get into it. We're going to start off with the Ravens. So they made a lot of changes this offseason. Got rid of their number one wide receiver. I think they got a pretty good return for it, but in the end they ended up drafting a defensive player and an O-lineman. What do you think this leads to as far as like the Ravens' future?
Well, first of all, I think Kyle Hamilton is not all he's hyped up to be. He was supposed to be some top 5 draft talent this draft, and I just don't see it at all. I don't think the Ravens got a steal. I think he might still be a first-round talent, but I don't think he's going to be some Ed Reed type of safety that Ravens fans are all hoping he's going to be.
Gotcha.
And, I mean, we all saw that clip of him getting absolutely burned by that undrafted free agent. So, I mean, he's not going to have to play man coverage like that, but it's still just, I don't think he's going to be.
Right. You're not in for a huge season on him.
I don't think he's going to be defensive rookie of the year or anything
Gotcha.
like that.
How do you feel about the other draft pick, the center, I believe? Tyler Linderbaum?
I think he was the best center in the draft. That's a really good pick for them. Like, especially, like in our division. In that division, it's going to be really hard, like, to go against Cam Hayward and fucking, the fucking Browns with,
right. Jadeveon Clowney, as well as Myles Garrett, the helmet smasher.
Who do you don't like?
Yeah, I'm not huge on Jadeveon Clowney as a sack artist. He's never had a season with 10 or more sacks, but, he did prove me wrong and have a pretty good year last year. And with that said, just to wrap up the Ravens, I definitely think they're going to lean closer to the running attack, and that's probably why they got so, intense on drafting a center. Like you said, probably the best one in the class. But speaking of that, like maybe move on to the Browns here. I'm not really thinking they're in for a great season by any means.
We'll see.
Yeah,
it's up to Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, I think so. But I mean, I would think, I've seen Jacoby Brissett play a lot of games. With the Colts and a few with the Dolphins as well, and I just don't think that he's going to be a winner, and I could see them going like 1-5 possibly in their first 6 games if that ends up being his suspension, and if he's suspended for the season, I mean, I don't know how many games they're going to win, honestly.
I think they're fucked. I think they're easily going to be the last team in the division.
Yeah.
And
I think so too.
Them burning that bridge with Baker is going to fuck them, but I think that just Baker was not in their plans anymore, and they had to get rid of him. Like, with all the talk that was coming out, I think trading for Deshaun Watson, or at least upgrading QB at some type, had to be their move. So I just don't think Baker was going to play there this year anyway. But
yeah,
maybe trading 3 first-round picks for an alleged rapist isn't really the best move.
Right. No, I think that's just not good team-building decision, and the Browns are not necessarily known for that. They also, because of his massive contract, had to cut a couple key, role players. So, like, their team's going to be worse. Their cap's getting eaten up. And now there's the potential that he might even miss an entire season. So, yeah, I don't really foresee the Browns being an excellent team in 2022 unless Watson has no suspension. And I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to go winless. I think Nick Chubb will still get them a couple games out of there. Myles Garrett will win them a couple games, but yeah, I don't think they're going to be over 500, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think they're definitely like close to 500 or barely over if they do that at all. But yeah, I mean the starting 6 they have for the season is pretty forgiving. They're playing the Panthers week 1.
Yeah.
So I think that Baker's going to get the revenge game there.
Easily.
Then they play the Jets, so they're likely going to win that unless Zach Wilson can show me something, and we'll talk about that later. Then they have the Steelers, Falcons, Chargers, and Patriots. So, like, maybe 2-4 with Jacoby Brissett.
They lose to the Steelers.
Yeah.
They could beat the Falcons.
Right. They could beat the Jets and the Falcons, I think. But, yeah, I don't have high hopes for the Browns, and I don't think we're going to be seeing them in the postseason this year. But a team I definitely think is going to make it there as well is going to be your favorite team, Jared, the Steelers. So why don't you tell me the things that you like that the Steelers did this offseason?
The Steelers are the most slept-on team in the NFL, and that's not even my bias talking because they literally got better at every single weakness. They addressed every weakness. The only thing is the quarterback.
Right.
Is
That's
shaky.
going to be dependent on whether they're going to be just a much improved team or real playoff contenders. Is how does the QB end up playing?
It's scary because Mason Rudolph has been looking good in training camp.
Oh, no.
It's scary.
No.
But it's still Mitch Trubisky's job to lose. So,
right. Yeah.
Kenny Pickett, I honestly don't think, well, hold on. If we keep Mason Rudolph on the 52-man roster going into the season, I don't think Kenny Pickett will play a single game this year.
Wow.
Because the backup will be Mason Rudolph. If he's really lighting it up in camp like that, and Mike Tomlin really keeps sucking his dick like that, and fucking stupid-ass Matt Canada keeps sucking his dick like that, then Kenny Pickett will be our third string, and then probably our starter in 2023. Because I think that's the end of Mason Rudolph's contract.
Yeah.
So he'd be out of there, hopefully. And I honestly really hope Mitch Trubisky succeeds, though. I'm definitely rooting for him.
Yeah. The way I'm seeing it is Mitch makes, either gets a playoff win or has an excellent regular season, or it's probably Pickett's job in the next season.
I honestly, what I think is the most likely scenario is Mitch Trubisky starts the first 8 to 10 games, and then maybe 12. We'll see. We'll have to evaluate, see what our record's looking like, and then if it's not looking too good, we'll definitely give Kenny Pickett the keys. But I think Mitch Trubisky's gonna be just fine, especially because I think another thing about the Steelers that they did this offseason is I think, and you can quote me on this, George Pickens is the best receiver in this draft class.
Wow.
The best.
The best. All right. I like that.
If you're listening to this, I'll be drafting him at 105 in Dynasty Kings.
Unbelievable. All right.
I swear to God, he's that good.
Okay.
He will be that motherfucking guy.
Wow. All right. That's huge. I was going to say the Pittsburgh's, probably their strongest position group is definitely their wide receivers, and I think Pickens is looking good, but with a prediction like that.
And re-signed Deontay Johnson yesterday.
Right. Exactly.
So he's staying. He's happy. He was literally already, when they found, did you see this? When he, the agent, honestly, agreed with the Steelers, his deal, he was actually already at the Steelers, in their, facility, eating lunch. He was already, working with them.
Oh.
They were saying that he was not practicing and shit like that. No, he was at practice.
Well, he wasn't on the actual practice field, but he was still in the facility, training.
Yeah, he was still there. Yeah,
right.
He was not being a bum at fucking work,
right,
or at home Odell Beckham Jr.
All right. With that, let's move on to last but not least the division winner last year, the Cincinnati Bengals. I am expecting a similar, maybe a slightly worse year this season. They really went above and beyond their expectations, making it all the way to the Super Bowl last year. But I do think that they improved their offensive line, they improved their defense, and they still have Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, as well as Joe Mixon running the ball back there. So I'm thinking they're going to be a strong team this year.
I think they're going to end around the same as the Steelers, because I think, and we've seen it time and time again, but Super Bowl regression is a real thing. If you lose a Super Bowl, you do not come back the same the next year. You have so much momentum that was just killed and shot that I don't think they're going to be bad, because I still think Joe Burrow is a really nice franchise quarterback.
Yeah, me too.
But I think that if one domino falls, a lot more will start falling afterwards, and I think that's what we're going to see with the Bengals. But if nothing goes wrong, then I can still see them winning the division, but
yeah,
I'm just saying, if a domino falls, if Joe Mixon gets injured, if one of their wide receiver gets injured, it could tumble.
Right. Well, I do also want to mention T. Higgins, really strong wide receiver number 2, but we really haven't seen him excel in that wide receiver number 1 role, so we wouldn't want to see him get pushed back into it again. But with that, who do you think's winning the division?
I think the Bengals are the most likely to win it, just because the Steelers quarterback carousel is just a bitch, and the Bengals just have the best roster on paper in the division.
Right, I can agree with that as well.
Especially
with the offensive line moves that they made in the offseason, it was a big difference.
If they can keep if they can keep the defense out of Joe Burrow's face, then he'll be just fine. But I don't know. The Steelers got really good on defense too. We didn't even talk about Myles Jack. He's officially. They reported yesterday he's officially higher on the depth chart than Devin Bush. Yeah. Which makes me elated.
Yeah,
Wait,
and
elated
Bush
is good,
really
right?
elated. Yeah,
Yeah,
I believe
okay,
so.
good.
Yeah, but yeah, Devin Bush really had not been the same since that injury. So maybe a backup role would be better for him, and hopefully he can excel in that role because I've always liked him.
From Miles Jack.
Yeah, for sure. But
yeah.
yeah.
I still think the Bengals win the division.
Yeah, and I would agree. I would think that the Steelers right now for me, as far as just like making a prediction like this, it's just too much of a toss up for the quarterback play. Like if Mitch really comes out and starts playing excellent, like they could easily win the division. But if he's a problem and then Pickett is going through rookie issues and Mason Rudolph is playing like Mason Rudolph, they just might end up in a wild card spot with that defense dragging them along. And the Ravens, I just think, have not done enough to increase their passing game. And I know their rushing game is really strong, but I don't know. I just feel like the Bengals and the Steelers and the Browns defense are all kind of geared towards stopping the run at this point. And the Ravens, I think, could also secure a wild card spot, but I really want to see what their wide receiver core is looking like through a couple of weeks. And right now, I don't have high hopes. So, with that said, anything else about the North before we move on to the AFC South?
I think the Ravens will. Their ceiling is the number 7 seed in the AFC, and that's only because of Justin Tucker. He is literally their best player. Wow. He is the best kicker of all time. I will admit that.
No, that is definitely true. But no, I think Lamar can definitely make moves with his feet, but he just doesn't have the help right now in the wide receiver core. And Mark Andrews is an excellent player. I haven't mentioned as well, but I mean that's it. In my opinion, I'm not high on their draft pick last year, Rashad Bateman, and he's getting forced into the number 1 role this year. So I just don't see it going.
Personally, I just don't like a quarterback that can't throw.
Yeah, and alrighty, that's easy. So on to the South. We are going to start with the Texans. I am a huge Davis Mills fan. I'm super excited to see what he can do with this. However, I think that they're just maybe going to have slight improvement from last year. They overachieved a lot last year. That roster was not good. But Mills, although he had a couple of disastrous games, he threw 16 touchdowns to 4 interceptions in every game that wasn't against Buffalo or Indianapolis. So, I'm excited to see his growth, but I really don't think this team is going to be anything to worry about come January.
Yeah, they're not going to be very good. It's just... They have such a bad franchise, like, from head to toe, from literally every position, like, in their franchise, in their front office. Like, It's just, they're in shambles.
Yeah, and this was not a 1 to 2 year rebuild that Nick Caserio got his hands on. But so far, I've liked the players that he's drafted, even though we've really only seen... This is going to be his first real draft class because they didn't have a first-round pick when he took over the team.
But they should not have fired, David Culley?
Yeah, I agree, 100%. I think everybody knew that he was going to be a bridge coach, but, I mean, he, like I said earlier, really overachieved with this team. I mean, they were a sack of bones last year of just old veterans that they picked up off the waiver wire. And
they still are. They picked up Marlon Mack, who has a torn Achilles, and he's probably their starting running back to begin the season.
Yep, and I know that they had a lot of picks this year, so we're going to have to see how that works out, but none really more notable than Derek Stingley, who I think is going to be a big difference maker if he can play, but the injuries scare me. I'm the kind of guy that really tries to stay away from people who have had injuries.
I think if Stingley can stay injured or stay healthy, then he'll be fine, but I honestly, the pick that excited me the most about the Texans is honestly Dameon Pierce, because I think that he actually does have potential, just because, I mean, who else is going to get the ball there?
Right. He's going to get the opportunity.
Achilles, Marlon Mack, or a 32, 33-year-old Rex Burkhead. He's going to get the opportunity, and I really don't think Davis Mills is the worst quarterback in the NFL.
No.
They will have a decent offense with Brandon Cook still there.
Yep, and they have a solid offensive line as well.
I think Nico Collins will take a step this year too. And who knows, maybe this guy, this tight end, might be something.
Brevin Jordan, right?
Brevin Jordan.
Yeah, Zach's boy.
He might be something.
He's big, man.
Might see.
He's huge. That's the thing. He has the size, but can he put on a show and start really getting the ball fed to himself and scoring some touchdowns? Because that's going to be a big difference on if they win this year. But
I still think they're a bottom of 3
team
in the NFL.
Maybe 3 or 4 wins this year.
Yeah.
But I think they're going to be much improved on offense, like you said. Their defense, I'm not very excited about at all.
Yeah.
Their secondary should be improved, but that's not going to help. The quarterbacks are going to have all day long. But that's about all I have to say about the Texans.
Yeah.
Like I said, excited to see what Davis Mills has to come, and we'll know if he's actually going to be someone who's relevant in the future or just a nice little rookie stint that he had there. So on to the Colts. I think that they're going to have a slight improvement from their wins last year. They're bringing back a similar team, but a much improved defense with the signing of Stephon Gilmore, and they traded for Yannick Ngakoue as well.
Yeah.
So I really think that those are some solid players. DeForest Buckner had an excellent year last year. Darius Leonard is also a great player.
All-star.
Yes, and picking up Matt Ryan.
I think it's an upgrade over Carson.
Oh, 100%. I think because last year I feel like a couple of the games that they lost were due to his carelessness with the ball. And Matt Ryan, he might not have as big of an arm as even Wentz does, but he definitely has a way better eye and a mental to it. He doesn't really I think he's going to take care of the ball better.
As long as Matt Ryan doesn't have a noodle arm like he had last year, it looked like, which is because the Falcons' O-line.
Right, for some games. Right.
Yeah, just their team in general was just bad.
Yep.
So I don't 100% blame it on Matt Ryan. I think the Colts have a way better O-line. I think they have a way better team in general.
Yep.
Better weapons, better running
and
back.
Jonathan Taylor. Yep.
Yeah. So
which is a big help on
if
quarterbacks.
Matt Ryan isn't a noodle arm like we saw last year, I think the Colts win this division.
Yeah, I think so too. I think the Titans have taken too much of a step back, and I think this is the Colts' division to lose at this point. Their playmakers are good. They've drafted really well. Yeah, and they still have cap space. They can add people either towards the end of the season here, or of off season, or in the middle of the season if they need to pick up people. They have something upwards of like $20 million, I think, almost. So this is somewhere I could see OBJ signing. It'd be interesting to see how he looks when he comes back, because as a known OBJ hater, he did impress me with his last few games with the Rams, but then he unfortunately did injure the same knee, and like I mentioned earlier, not big on injuries, especially when it's the same injury in the same knee. I'm not very excited for him, but hopefully he can come back and prove me wrong again.
I think OBJ gets signed sometime during the season, maybe like during the postseason.
Week 10 or something.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it will be the Colts, but I have been seeing good things about Paris Campbell, which I feel like I see every preseason.
Right, and then he just gets hurt.
He just gets hurt or just underperforms. But
right.
I mean,
I've been hearing good things about that kid. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, could be. And I've been hearing good things about that kid, Alec Pierce, as well, that they picked up in the second round.
I like Alec Pierce a lot.
He's a physical receiver, and he has a little bit more speed than Pittman. So having two huge guys on the outside, I think that's gonna be a good play.
Pittman's gonna be a monster.
Oh, for sure. I'm looking for a big season for him. And Jonathan Taylor cannot be understated. This guy is unbelievable. I know the Colts O-line has lost some players, but I have a lot of belief in their farm system. They've been drafting good O-linemen for, what seems like 20 years now.
Yeah.
So I think that that's going to be just fine. I think Jonathan Taylor's in for a monster year. But yeah, as we mentioned, really the only other competitor I think in this division is going to be the Titans.
Yeah.
And I think that they're going to have about the same year, probably 2 wins less.
As the Colts or as last year?
As the Titans.
As them last year?
Yeah, as they did last year. Because what, did they end up going?
They were
the number one seed, right? Yeah, was it 12-5 or did they go 13-4?
I think they were 13-4.
Yeah, so I think that they're probably going to be closer to the 11-win range.
I think 10 or 11.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be under double digits, though. I think this team is too good. I think at this point, Mike Vrabel has proven to us that he's a really good coach, and he understands how to get the best out of his guys and really scheme up well against other teams. So I just think they're too talented to kind of just sweep under the rug and think that it's going to be a dogfight, I think, between the Colts and the Titans. But they are missing one A.J. Brown, and that is a big difference with the Titans. They are getting back Derrick Henry, which is another huge difference. But I really think the Titans' passing game is going to take a hit from that loss.
I definitely think it'll take a hit, but they did add Robert Woods, who is coming off an ACL injury.
I believe it was an ACL, yes, but he's a very talented player. He, as a Bills fan, I saw him really start to take off, and then he went to the Rams and started doing some really good things, and he's an excellent route runner. So
I think he is going to do really well there, and I do think that Treylon Burks. I'm a believer. I think he's going to do well. I don't think, like I said, I think George Pickens is going to be the best receiver, but I still think Treylon Burks is easily going to be a top 5 receiver from this loaded class.
Yeah, I could see that for sure.
I think
Probably not top 3 though.
I think he'll be top 3.
Really?
I think it'll be Pickens, London, and then Treylon Burks. Because
Okay.
I don't think we'll talk about this later, but I don't think Garrett Wilson's in there, and Jamison Williams just isn't going to be.
Right, he won't have enough time.
I'm talking this year.
Treylon
Burks will be
right.
a top
okay.
3.
That's fair.
receiver.
I could actually definitely see that.
Yeah.
And I do, obviously he might have let himself go a little bit between the draft or something, and he needed to get his conditioning up. But I haven't heard recently that he's still having issues with it.
I just think that's. I don't know. It's summer. It's hot.
Right.
You're a rookie in NFL camp. I'm not worried about it.
Right.
Honestly, like he has asthma. Like it's
Yeah.
not really a big deal. Like they have the little gas masks for whenever you play in like Denver or whatever.
Yeah.
If like that's what he has to do, that's what he has to
Yeah,
do. It's
he can just breathe in
literally
extra
not a big deal.
oxygen.
Like it's not like he's playing offense and defense. Like
Right, he has time to sit.
he could take a snap off.
Right.
Like I'm really not worried about it at all.
Okay, yeah, I can see that for sure. So, yeah, as you mentioned, because, that's about all I have to say about the AFC South. My prediction for the winner is going to be the... Oh,
don't forget.
Here we go.
Don't forget.
How could I forget the Jacksonville Jaguars? This team sucks. Their stadium sucks. Their fans suck. And Trevor Lawrence had a horrible year last year. I'm excited to see how he does because, he's a good player, and I'd like to maybe see what the Jags can do. But, yeah, honestly, one of my least favorite teams in the league, and I think that they're going to be horrible this year again.
That's just a lot of bias. I like their stadium. I don't like their fans. I'll agree with that part. That city and those people that live in there are nutcases. So I don't disagree with that part. After living there for 3 months, I can 100% confirm that only crazy people live in Jacksonville.
Yep.
But I do like their stadium, and I like their team. I think they're going to be a lot better this year than last year.
How many wins you got for them?
I think they're going to be, what is it, like 7? It's up to 17
games,
now?
yeah.
So I think they're going to be like 8 and 9. Or I think they're going to be
really?
8 and 9, 9 and 8. Yeah.
Wow.
I think they're going to be that good.
Wow.
I think Urban Meyer was a huge
huge
problem because he like literally ruined the whole culture.
Right.
Like, I don't even understand like what he was doing there. Like, I guess like the crackhead of Jacksonville got to him and he was just lost it. But I think this year that they're really going to click. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to take that next step, and I think that they had a really nice draft in my opinion. Yeah. I think Trayvon Walker is going to be a problem. I don't know if he's going to be like a Khalil Mack type of problem, like this best like number 1 receiver. I think or defender. I think Trey Hendrickson might be better, but
you mean
what's his name? Not Trey Hendrickson. That's the
that's the guy in the Bengals. You're talking about
Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah.
I think Aiden Hutchinson is probably going to be better, but I think Trayvon Walker is still going to be really nice.
What do you think about Kayvon Thibodeau?
Kayvon Thibodeau,
because I think he's better than Trayvon Walker too. Honestly,
I think he's probably better than Trayvon Walker, but
I know Walker does not have an injury history, which I know KT is actually struggling with as well in the camp. So yeah, I'm excited for the.
He's on the Giants, so
maybe
not.
That is true, but maybe Dable can change the culture there as well, and we'll talk about that in the NFC episode. But yeah, I definitely think Trayvon Walker and Josh Allen on the edge is something that could be promising, and maybe bring Saxonville back because that was a fun era. But yeah,
I also I love the addition of. I think they overpaid him, but I still like the addition of Christian Kirk. I think he's going to be able to stretch the field for Trevor Lawrence, and he'll be able to like. I mean, I think he still really likes Marvin Jones. I think Marvin Jones is still going to have a Marvin Jones season, and still do his role.
Yep, exactly.
Like he is that type of guy where he will just put his head down and just do his job.
Yeah, and
so I think he's going to have Marvin Jones type of season. I think Christian Kirk. I don't think he's going to have some crazy season. Like I think he'll probably end around like 800-900 yards.
Right, yeah, I don't think he's topping 1,000.
Yeah.
I'm not big on him at all.
But I am really high on Travis Etienne. I think Travis Etienne could spaz.
Yeah,
because
he's
too. Electric.
And I believe in him. Yeah, he is a super powerful player, and I definitely could see a good season out of him. But like I said, the injuries always scare me. But yeah, I definitely could see him having a bounce back year, and I think that hopefully he's going to be healthy enough to play all the seasons, and that's going to assist the whole team. But yeah, overall, I just think it's a bad roster, and they have quite a while until they're going to be able to like really compete into January, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to make the playoffs just because I think the
AFC is
really
loaded
good.
as well.
AFC's
yes,
really
AFC
good.
is super stacked. Looking at this list, I have a picture of all of the teams in a square, and like I have to cut off 9 of them. It's like, dude, you know, it's like these 2 are easy, that one's easy.
This one's easy.
And yes, and so there's like 4 that are easy. The Jags, the Texans, the Browns, and the Jets are easy, but everybody else is just like 3 of these teams are not going to make it. Like that's scary.
Rough. That's rough.
That's scary.
I think they're not going. I think the Ravens aren't going to make it.
Yeah. That's fair. I don't know, dude.
We'll talk about the AFC West later, but yeah. Now that I really look at it, I think the Jacksonville Jaguars probably in like 7 or 8 wins, maybe not 9 and 8.
Right.
They'll go under 500.
Yeah,
but
I think so too. Definitely.
I do think that they'll be better.
Yeah, I can see them. I think they're probably in that 4-win range, honestly, just because of the
4.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I think they're like similar to, and I think they're picking top 8 again next year, 4 or 5 for sure. So yeah, with that said, I mean that's really all I have to say about the South. I think the Colts are going to win that. I think it's definitely going to be a dogfight between the Titans, and I'm actually excited to see those 2 matchups throughout the season.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Are you with the Colts on winning that one as well?
Yeah.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Cool. I mean, it could be close. Yeah. We really have to see Derrick Henry.
Like, yes, that's a big X factor as well.
Is he gonna be? He's 28 now. He did start his career with like 2 seasons basically where he didn't really play.
Right.
So he does still have like, his legs aren't as like old as like a normal 28-year-old running back.
Yeah.
But
he's had a lot of usage the last couple of years.
He's had a lot of usage.
Yep.
So. But he is built different.
Exactly.
Like, he's a beast.
He is.
Like,
but
he's a specimen.
I definitely think if Henry and Burks come back and are true X factors, it's going to be a big difference with the team. But either way, I think the Colts have improved enough to take that division, and I'm pretty confident on that one.
I will say this. If Derrick Henry has over, I would say, 1,400 to 1,500 yards, I think the Titans win the division. I think if he can carry that team on his back like he's done before, if he gets over 1,100 yards, which he's easily done. He's gotten over 2K, right?
Right.
He got over 2K. So, like, if he does that again, and not even 2K, but like I said, 1,100, I think they win the division.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So yeah, I guess we will move on to the AFC East with my favorite team.
We can go with the team that's going to win the division, the New England Patriots.
That's got me ready to turn this off here. So
no,
we can start with the Patriots.
No, I'm just kidding. We can go to the real.
Have you seen these notes?
No, what does it say?
They're a trash, unorganized front office, and I hate you, New England.
Well, then we can start with New England.
Yep, we'll just get it out of the way now. So. Bill Belichick is going to have Matt Patricia calling plays, and Mac Jones is going to suffer horribly from it. And I know this team is talented. They have a really good roster. Mac Jones is legit. He sees the field like, just a good field general. I don't want to compare him to the greats, but he definitely has like a really high-level QB vision for how young he is. And his arm is like, it's there. I don't think it's anything to like, I don't think he's going to throw like a 50-yard bomb and you're just like, oh, dude, it was a rope like Justin Herbert or anything like that. But I definitely think he has the NFL arm strength, and they also have a super strong running back core. But I don't like how they traded Shaq Mason, one of the best guards in the NFL, for pennies to the Bucks. So I don't know if that's going to...
That was some collusion shit.
Right.
That was some collusion shit.
Exactly. And they also... who's the tackle? It's Trent Brown, right? That they have?
Yeah.
Yes. And he was injured for a little bit of the season. Then when he came back, he was kind of bad. And then at the end of the year, he really picked it up. So what kind of Trent Brown are we going to be getting? And that's going to be super important, I think, for a team that relies on the run so much. So those are really the X factors that I'm seeing, as well as like just a really weak wide receiver room.
That's just what I was going to say, is that everyone talks about how Justin Fields and Davis Mills have no help. What help does Mac Jones have? Like, his wide receiver one is what, Devontae Parker this year?
No, yeah, I mean, I guess so.
Like,
I mean, you may
Nelson
Aguilar, yeah.
Like,
who's the one? Kendrick Bourne is my favorite wide receiver.
I do like Kendrick Bourne,
but still, he's not. I don't think he's one material. I think he needs to be a solid number 2. And
he's a good role player.
Yes, he makes really solid plays after the catch, but I don't think his like ability to separate is really like at that number 1 level.
Well, obviously, their real wide receiver one's probably Jacoby Myers, but I mean, they don't give him touchdowns.
That's kind of the. I also,
it could be Devontae Parker.
I'm the same way about Jacoby Myers as well. Like, it really does seem like he's talented. He makes like okay right after the catch plays, and he knows how to get open. But I just don't like. He's not like a dominant force. I feel like.
But the thing is, though, is that Bill Belichick makes these type of receivers like elite. Like,
right. That's true.
Julian Edelman, you put him on any other team, is he putting up that career? No.
That's
Is
facts.
he winning those rings? No. Is he literally putting up his stats? Never. Same thing with Chris Hogan.
Right.
He brought in Chris Hogan and made him like literally
7-11, baby.
Bro, he was
always open.
He was always open. Like Danny Amendola, same thing. Like he just makes.
Yeah.
I mean, Danny Amendola was actually pretty good on the Rams,
Right.
but
He was not that level though. Like you said, he was brought to another level.
So he does have that ability to
Those
make
inside runners.
except for N'Keal Harry.
Right. N'Keal Harry, he's more of a physical receiver than anything. But yeah, that guy also sucks for sure.
Yeah, but even like guys like Kembrell Tompkins. You remember that guy?
No.
Exactly. Like, but he literally has Super Bowl rings, and Tom Brady made him look that good. I mean, Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. But
Bill Belichick has low-key sucked ass at drafting wide receivers his entire career.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's all I have to say about the Patriots. I think they're going to be a solid team again this year. Probably get to 10 wins.
Do they make the playoffs?
They probably, honestly, looking at the list, like I said with the cutoffs, like the Patriots got to go. Because I think the Dolphins are better than them at this point. Like, I know Tua, like, Mac Jones might be a little bit better than Tua, but Tua's weapons are way better, and I think their defense is way better as well.
Yeah.
So it's really going to depend if their coach is legit, but I believe in Mike McDaniel personally. I think that their offense is going to be spicy, and I think that their defense is going to be, maybe a slight downgrade because I know Flores is a really defensive-minded coach, but I think, if I remember correctly, Mike McDaniel kept the defensive coordinator that was there last year. I can't remember if that's true or not, but he kept definitely some of the staff. I'm pretty sure I had heard.
I'm pretty high on the Dolphins. Yeah, I think they're going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, with that, let's move to the Dolphins.
You already segued into it.
Exactly, right over to it. We're on Tyreek. Like, that was a big play.
Yeah, that was
trading for Tyreek is a big
splash
play.
By the Dolphins.
Huge. So, in my opinion, the biggest key is not Tua or Tyreek, it's the O-line play, because last year it was horrible. Yeah. I was at the Bills-Dolphins game, and Tua literally got hurt within a minute and 30 seconds of playing time because the Bills players were just running at him. Yeah. And you can't have that happen. He needs time. I know he's a quick read kind of player, but, I mean, he needs more than, 30 seconds. He needs more than, 2 or 3 seconds,
But that is why they got allegedly one of the... Probably the best left tackle.
Tron Armstead. He was the best available left tackle. Easily.
Oh, for sure. 100%.
But he is a little injury prone. He's known to miss minimum 4 games a season.
I still think Trent Williams is the best. But I think Teron Armstead is definitely top 5, maybe top 3. Right. But he needs to stay healthy.
Yep.
And, I mean, Tua also needs to stay healthy.
Yep.
But I think that offense... They do have another running back carousel, but if Raheem Mostert can stay healthy, I still think he has juice in the tank.
Yep, because similar to Derrick Henry, he is a player who is, I think he's 31 now, but he only has, I mean, I know he has less than 1,000 career carries, right? He does not play that much.
He was a special teams player.
Yeah, he bounced around a lot, so if he can recover from these injuries, which, they're serious injuries, I definitely think he could be in for a big year, especially with, the coordinator that he had.
I like what the Dolphins did with their running backs because they have a little bit of everything. Because Myles Gaskin is kind of like their elusive guy that you can put in on first and second down. You have Sony Michel for the goal line work, and then you have a third down back and a speedster and Raheem Mostert. Yeah. So I really like what they did, and I think that their running back room is slept on. It sucks for fantasy,
right? Horrible. But it's gonna be good.
It's a nightmare for fantasy, but. I really don't hate it. I mean, they might just not even use Myles Gaskin and just run Mostert and Sony Michel.
I feel like he's earned a role. He's played pretty well at times, and I think that Mike McDaniel is going to be the kind of guy who, running back carousel, these guys are probably all getting 10 to 12 carries a game. Yeah. More so than, and maybe one will get 16.
And if he's having a good game.
Yeah, but I do think that they're going to be a really run-heavy team. He comes from the Niners, and that's Kyle Shanahan's shit, and he's probably going to be doing something similar.
I think they're still going to be airing it the fuck out to Tyreek Hill. You have to.
But I feel like Tyreek Hill is going to be used in a lot of run packages as well because him in motion is horrifying.
Oh, yeah,
and you can hand it off to him or have a running back pass it to him or something. I'm very excited to see what the Dolphins are going to do this year. But either way, they're getting swept by the Bills. On to the Bills. Josh Allen. I told everybody. I'm sorry. I got to take it right now. I told everybody when they said this kid sucks. He jumped over a linebacker. He's had 2 seasons in a row of just incredible play. Their O-line last year didn't allow a sack. I think he might have got sacked once in the playoffs. But, the last, 6 games of regular season, I know for a fact they didn't allow a sack.
Jesus.
Yeah. And people are telling me that the O-line is weak. So, okay, that's our worst position, the wide receivers are incredible. Josh Allen is incredible. I believe in Devin Singletary, and I think James Cook is going to be an excellent number 2. I'm not very high on Zach Moss, but I think he'll still play some as a goal line back. Dawson Knox had a career year last year, a franchise year. Yeah. Actually, he had the most touchdowns in Bills history last year, which is sick as for a tight end.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say.
Yeah, not
like
ever. Not ever.
Crazy.
Just for a tight end. Yeah. And they also picked up O.J. Howard, who I know has been kind of a disappointment after coming out of Alabama, but I definitely think he could do well in a number 2 position.
Yeah, he doesn't have high expectations.
He just needs to stay healthy, right, and be a good blocker.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see what they can do. Their defense got better with the addition of Von Miller, as well as bringing back Jordan Phillips and Shaq Lawson from previous Bills teams on like super cheap contracts.
Yeah.
They also picked up Tim Settle and Daquan Jones from the Washington football team and the Panthers respectively. So they did a lot of work on the defensive line. The only thing that I am slightly concerned about is the cornerback room. However, they did draft someone that they were super high on in the first round, Khair Elam, I believe.
Yeah, Khair,
yeah, I know it's Elam, but so he's going to need to play well, I think, in order for the Bills to really get out of the gate early, because I think Tre'Davious White is going to miss a couple weeks. But I think
Levi Wallace, who's down.
Yeah,
on the Steelers
Levi
too.
Wallace is now on the Steelers, which was a great pickup by the Steelers. We forgot to mention.
Yeah.
But we do have Dane Jackson, who was a second-year player last year, who played really well. And our safety duo is arguably the best in the league. So
what's going on with them though?
With their injuries?
Yeah, didn't you say like the Bills safeties were in shambles a couple of days ago?
Yeah. So Micah Hyde, I think, just like has a little hip soreness, and I believe Jordan Poyer just sprained something. I can't remember what exactly it is. So they're not major injuries, but it was just like
I thought it was more like contract disputes and
Jordan Poyer hasn't signed his contract yet, but Brandon Beane's gonna get that shit done because like he's trying to win a Super Bowl this year. He'll give him whatever he needs. Like it's fine.
Have you heard anything about Khair Elam?
He's been looking good, and I've seen Tre'Davious White also doing a lot of recovery drills. Like I never like recovered personally from an ACL tear, but I'd imagine it's pretty difficult to do. Like he was like leaning down on a knee and jumping up and then landing on the same knee.
My God.
So like that seems like it would hurt me.
Yeah,
like
I don't even
without
have
a torn ACL.
That feels like it would tear my ACL.
Right, exactly. So he was doing those and doing them really well, and he's out on the field. Assisting Elam with some drills, giving him tips and stuff like that. And I've heard good things. I haven't seen any touchdowns scored on him. I know training camp videos have just opened up, but that's obviously a promising sign. And we've just heard nothing but good things about him. And I think as long as the secondary is okay, we're going to be good to go because the defensive line is going to improve so much. The quarterbacks aren't going to have a lot of time.
Yeah. I will say this about the Bills. They have the original my guy, who's Devin Singletary.
Yep.
And I'm so hyped that he finally gets his opportunity
to
really shine. Because he was really looking good the past, the last couple 6
games.
weeks.
Yep, exactly. That same time frame where the O-line... They changed their O-line to Deion Dawkins, Ryan Bates, Mitch Morris in the center, and... I can't remember who the person in the right guard was, but I don't think he's a starter. I think they upgraded him as well. They got Roger Saffold to replace for him, right? And then the right tackle is a rookie Spencer Brown, who's like a 6'10" mauler, just destroying people, and he chugged a beer after a touchdown one time. So I'm balls deep on him. I need that guy to just be destroying people. I think the O-line once they got that set up, that's when Devin Singletary really started taking off, and I think they're going to be running a very similar line to that.
Yeah, I'm really hype on him. I love that he's finally getting his opportunity because Zach Moss was never the guy. He was never that good.
No.
And Devin Singletary has always been better, and the Bills have just been sleep on him.
Yep.
But I love it now. And they have my guy for this upcoming year, and that's Gabe Davis.
Yep.
I absolutely love him.
Mm-hmm.
Go Knights, charge on. I think he's going to have a monster year.
Yeah, I think so too.
I seriously do think that it's going to be a Juju Antonio Brown type of situation,
right?
Where Gabe Davis might literally put up better numbers than Stephon
I would love
Diggs.
it. I will welcome that.
I still think Stephon Diggs is going to have a crazy
he's going to have
year,
a monster year
but I think they're both going to have crazy good years. Yep. And I saw that Jameson Crowder came back to practice today.
Yep.
Even though he was working with the second team. And I saw Isaiah McKenzie was getting a lot more. Right. I think he's kind of solidified that slot.
I think so too.
And I think he's gonna have a really good role.
Isaiah McKenzie is super speedy, and the rookie Khalil Shakir has been looking good.
Yeah.
I saw him burn defense. I think a secondary cornerback for us, DeMar Hamlin, I believe it was, burned him on a touchdown. I'm just super excited for the Bills. Josh Allen is a maniac, and their wide receiver core is
Deep.
really, really, really strong. Yeah, super deep. They can bring
Super
out
deep.
packages.
Yeah.
And the 2 tight end packages I'm super excited for,
Yeah,
too, because they
O.J.
couldn't really
Howard,
do
too.
that last year. Right, with it, because, now they can have Knox, Howard,
Yeah.
Diggs, and Gabe Davis on the outside, and then, if they want to run
busted.
no running back, get McKenzie in the middle.
Yeah, it's busted.
come on, dude, yeah.
So I think the Bills are my favorite to win the whole AFC,
Yeah,
just
me too.
because also the thing that's really affecting that too, because the Bills really are that good, but also I think obviously the AFC West, which we're going to talk about shortly, but those teams are going to give each other
exactly.
trouble.
A lot of stuff.
So
yep.
it's going to be a lot of tension, and that division's going to be closer. So the Bills are just going to have more wins than probably all of them.
Right.
I think they're obviously better than everyone in the AFC South, and I think the same thing with the AFC North, where they're going to be clashing so much that they're going to give each other tough wins and losses, and just because the Steelers and Ravens just lose dumb-ass games. They lose against the worst teams.
That's factual, bro.
I've noticed it.
blowing
It's
it.
every year. They do really well against the good teams. Literally, the Ravens last year beat the Chiefs.
Yep.
They beat good teams, and then they just lose to shitters.
Yep.
They
And
literally
almost
should have lost the
Lions.
line.
Yep.
They should have.
Mhm.
It's literally that
Without
penalty
Tucker.
call. Yeah, it's literally that penalty call and the bounce.
Yep.
But, so, I think the Bills are going to be the favorite out of the AFC.
Yeah, I think so as well, and hopefully I can just see a Super Bowl. That's all I need. This is the time.
We'll see.
Manifesting it. The Bills are winning the Super Bowl this year because Josh Allen is going fucking nuclear. On to the Jets. Slight improvement for them. I think they had an unbelievable draft. I think probably the best draft.
They definitely have the
Sauce
best draft.
Gardner, Garrett Wilson, and
Jermaine Johnson.
Jermaine Johnson the third, right?
No. I thought you
Yeah.
said in the third.
Oh,
Yes.
no. But yeah.
At
I
the
couldn't
end of the
remember.
first.
Yeah, I couldn't remember his first name, but I knew it was Johnson the third.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, those are all really strong players, and I thought
Yeah.
Jermaine Johnson was going to be
I thought he was
going
to be top 10.
Yeah, close. I thought he was going in the 15-16 range, honestly. And, I mean, that's a steal. And they
Yeah.
traded back up. I trust in Joe Douglas. Their O-line was okay last year, which is a big improvement from what it was the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And they continue to invest in it.
Yeah.
So I'm loving that. They have a lot of solid backup guys, but all in all, I think even if Zach Wilson takes a step up, it's not going to be enough for them to be playoff contenders, especially in this loaded AFC.
Yeah.
But I am very excited to see if Zach Wilson is the real deal or not.
I love Robert Saleh.
Yes, I think he's a good coach.
He's an amazing coach, and I think if the Jets, if they have a bad season this year and they fire him, that would be such a Jets thing to do.
Right. I feel like I
it's
think
not
they
his
need to
fault.
give them one more year. And if they don't, it's really going to be a problem.
More. I think let him build. The AFC is just stacked right now, but pretty soon it's going to fall off.
Right.
It always gets shaken up.
Exactly.
So you need to just let him build. This is a young team. They just drafted Breece Hall too.
Oh yeah,
we
that's
didn't even
right.
talk about
Yep, exactly.
second,
and that's how good of a
won
draft
the
it was, right? That was only in the first round were those three players.
Yeah.
And they picked up Breece in, what was it, the second
The
pick
second-
in the second round? Yeah.
I think
34.
Yeah, something like that.
Mhm.
And I mean, he's going to be a monster. He's one of the best running back draft
Prospects
prospects
in a while.
since
Yep.
Saquon Barkley.
Right.
So I think he's going to be insane. And what do you think about Michael Carter? That's your guy.
Michael Carter's good. I think Michael Carter is very good. I don't think he's as talented as Breece Hall, but I definitely think he's going to be a solid number 2 option. He's great out of the backfield, and maybe they can get a passing game going with Garrett Wilson because their wide receivers and Corey Davis is a number 2. I think that's kind of where he fits in. I think having
Corey
him.
Davis is the number 3. You forgot
Wait.
about Elijah Moore.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yes,
Yeah. I think.
Yeah, his injuries have made me kind of put him in the back of my mind, but he was really solid when he was playing, really, really solid when he was playing last year.
And I think Garrett Wilson is just going to start as a 3 just because he's the rookie.
Yeah.
And Corey Davis is healthy now, and he's been looking really good.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't think Garrett Wilson's going to have a bad season, but like I said, I don't think he's going to be a top 3.
Yeah.
I think he probably will be that 4th.
Yeah, 4 or 5.
So, yeah, 4 or 5. But I'm not. I was a little hype on the Zach Wilson train, but I'm starting to. I was never really super on it, and
Yeah.
I'm kind of really leaning off of him. I just think the AFC is really good, and they're the worst team in the division still.
Right.
But do you think Breece Hall starts day 1? Or do you think Michael Carter could still be the starter? Because what I've been seeing,
I don't know.
I've been seeing some people say Breece Hall won't really have a big role until week 10, and I was kind of like...
That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I feel like running backs are the kind of players that... I mean, I don't think he's going to get an 80% snap count in the first game or anything like that. But if there's a running back split, it's probably going to be either... It's going to be 45-55 most likely, and I'm not sure if it'll be the 45 or the 55, but I think it'll be pretty even.
It'll be interesting how how that running back
Yeah,
room shapes
I'm excited
out.
to see how the offense goes because, like I said, the O-line is the key to offense, and they have had a pretty solid O-line last year. And if they are just middling O-line wise, I think their offensive talent is enough to make them at least be close in games, but I'm still not big on their defense, unfortunately.
I mean, they did make really good moves on
Right.
their defense this offseason, like with what we said.
Sauce Gardner is great.
Gardner and
Did they pick up
Jermaine
another
Johnson.
secondary member, though? Because I think their secondary is still suspect as hell, right?
They still had someone that... No, they still have someone good, I thought.
I can't remember. But I
I
know,
don't remember either.
like, and I don't know if they picked...
No, they still have Tremaine Johnson, right? I don't know if he's still good or not.
Yeah, I don't think
really
so.
watch a lot
They
of
had a pretty...
Jets, but-
Yeah, I don't really watch a ton of it either, but they got blown the hell up by the Bills last year, like, badly. So,
Yeah.
like, that's really all I know.
But I mean, if he does have some help, I mean, Tremaine Johnson was really good on the Rams.
Mhm.
So if they do, I don't know if they still have him. Do they still have him?
Let's see.
But I
Yeah.
mean, the Jets defense, I think, does take. I mean, I think Robert Salaw is a really good defensive coach too.
Yeah.
So I am not sleep on the Jets defense.
Mhm.
I think that they're gonna have some really good weeks. I still think they're gonna go under 500.
Oh, yeah, for
But
sure.
It's really just up to Zach Wilson because their team is honestly not bad.
It's okay, right? It's getting
really
better.
not bad.
It's really getting better, and I think after another offseason and another draft, because I don't think they have another second round or another first round pick next year, but I believe they have 2 seconds.
Okay.
So they'll be able to continue to build.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be a good play. But yeah, their starters right now are DJ Reed, who sucks.
Yeah.
Ahmad Gardner, who hopefully is going to be great. I'm big on him. I think Sauce is going to be awesome.
I really do.
Lamarcus Joyner, who's okay as a
they do have
safety,
Lamarcus Joyner.
and
That's the Ram who I thought this had.
Lamarcus Joyner, and Jordan Whitehead, who is pretty good. He played for the Buccaneers, right?
Yeah, he was good.
So, I think that's an improvement for sure, and I think that his scheme is going to help. But yeah, I'm not really super excited about that, honestly. But I do. Hopefully, they can get a little more aggressive in the defensive front, and that'll help improve their defense overall. But yeah, that's enough talk about the AFC East. The
one thing I will say though about the Jets is that they will probably be the best team that plays in that stadium. But that's the only thing that they can say.
Yeah.
That's the only bragging rights that they'll be able to have.
Yeah, maybe though. I don't know. I think maybe Dable can change things on the other side, but I wouldn't bet on it. So, but we'll talk more about how bad the Giants are in the NFC.
Yeah.
So, let's start off in the AFC West. This is the spiciest division by far, I think.
Yeah, in the entire NFL.
Oh, yeah. And let's start off with the Broncos, and I think let's ride. I think the Broncos are going to be going crazy this year. I am big on Russell Wilson. I am big on their defense.
Let's say who we think is going to win the division at the end.
Okay.
Let's just talk about
All right.
it. Yeah.
I like that. So, yeah.
Because who knows?
Any one of these 4 teams could win the division easily.
I have no clue who Austin's going to say.
Right.
And I honestly don't even really know who I'm going to say.
Right.
Right
Me too, now that I just looked at it, honestly.
It's crazy.
But yeah, so the Broncos are really strong, though. I think Jerry Jeudy is going to make a big improvement wide receiver-wise. It really sucks they don't have Tim Patrick for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
But I know Albert O was... I was going to try to say it, but I knew that just wouldn't work out at all. So he's a really strong player as well. And Courtland Sutton, after coming back from his injury, hasn't looked exactly the same, but I definitely think he's solid in a wide receiver room that's that talented. And like I said, I think their secondary is one of the strongest in the NFL, and their defense in general has been really good the last couple of years. So with the addition of a quarterback, maybe it's time for them to finally be relevant again.
And they got Randy Gregory, didn't they?
Yes, yeah, they picked up Randy Gregory in the offseason also. Yeah,
that's huge.
Big defensive line player.
So the Broncos, I think all 4 teams are going to be really good. I think all 4 teams can be over 500.
Yeah.
But
they just play each other. That's what's going to be scary.
Yeah.
I think the winner of this division has less than 10 wins. Not
less
kidding.
than
11, 11. I think they have 11 wins.
Okay.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah. I can see that. But the Broncos, it's just I don't know. I don't think like Russell Wilson just didn't look that good last year, and he was dealing with the injury, and there's a lot of hype around the Broncos, but I still think KJ. I mean, it's so tough.
Right.
Like this division is so hard to predict who's going to win. But
exactly.
I don't think that they will be the team because I think Russell Wilson will still be really good. I think they could make the playoffs, but I think if any team is going to slip, I think it'll be them because it's just a new quarterback and a new system, and he's getting older, and he wasn't that good last year, so they already had one domino fall with Tim Patrick. We need Jerry Jeudy to step up because he really hasn't been what we really thought he was going to be.
Right now, he's just like a solid role player.
He's slacking.
Not a number one wide receiver.
He's slacking. Cortland Sutton also slacking. He had his breakout year 2 years ago, and he just hasn't shown it since. And
they do still have KJ Hamler though.
They still have KJ Hamler,
and that's a solid wide receiver core.
I love KJ Hamler, but I think he's going to be a good role player. But we really have to see if Russell Wilson still has it in him. From what I saw last year, I really wasn't impressed. I don't care about all the hype and shit. I've seen right through it. Russell Wilson does this whole mask and then shows that he's just not really it. And their defense, I think, is going to be pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they have Pat Surtain, who I think is one of the best corners in the league already.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, he was
just
a rookie
really
last year.
And
he was
super strong.
So he's amazing. But I still think that like I said, they're going to go over 500. But I think they will be around that 9-8, 10-7 range.
Yeah, I could see that. But I really do think, because they had an okay year last year with very poor quarterback play. So, like, now they are looking extremely strong. And, I just think they're going to be really strong. I that's all I can say. Like, the pass rush looks good to me on paper. The linebackers look good to me on paper. And they have a solid O-line. And, Russell Wilson was playing with trash O-lines. The best player on the team was Dwayne Brown. Yeah. And I know he's an okay tackle, but that guy's old as dirt, dude. Like, I'm sorry. Like, he can't be protecting your blind side. Their boy Garrett Bowles used to be a holding machine. Yeah. He's been great the last 2 years.
He has been good.
And that's Russell Wilson's also a mobile quarterback, so I think he's going to be able to make a lot of time. And I think it honestly, with the loss of Tim Patrick, it's all on the wide receivers, like you said. Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutton really need to step up, or you might be right.
Yeah, I think the one thing I do love about their O-line is Dalton Risner.
Yeah,
that's actually
he's great too.
That's my boy.
And Lloyd. Oh, you know him?
Yeah, that's my boy. I play Xbox with him.
Dude, that's nuts.
Bro, I love him. He's literally awesome, and he's really good at football.
Yeah, he's fire. Yeah,
he's literally
that's crazy.
Amazing.
Lloyd Cushenberry is raw as well, and I love his name because it sounds like he's like royalty, bro. Lloyd Cushenberry the third. Excuse me.
That's even better.
Yeah, that shit's fire, bro.
He owns castles.
Yeah, and then Graham Glasgow came over from the Colts last year, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And he had a great year last year.
Okay, so they did really upgrade their O-line.
Yeah, they have a really strong O-line. Yeah. And they had one last year, too. They just had nobody back there to throw the ball. So it's really, I think, like you said, their only like question mark is the wide receiver room. So if they step up, they're going to be a really strong team. If not, they might be one of those hard 9 teams that we got to X out.
But what they really do need to do is lean with their run game a lot. You can't let Russ cook.
Didn't even talk about that. Yeah.
You can't really let Russ cook, and we learned that in Seattle when they tried to let Russ cook, and he just can't really get it done. So, but also, now he has better running backs.
Better O-line, too.
Better O-line, better running backs, because this running back room could be insane. Like, Melvin Gordon, I don't care how old he is, he's still really good.
Yeah,
like, he still, like, has it, and Javonte Williams is supposed to be the next best thing. I don't think he's going to be all he's hyped up to be, but I do think that he's going to have a
He's
really
a damn good player.
Too.
Yeah, he's just not going to have the carry, I think. And I think that'll be good for him because it'll split and he won't be getting worn down from like a season of, just getting beat down all the time.
Yeah. He won't have a top 5 season like people are saying. Like some crazy bullshit.
Hell no.
Just because he's going to have that 60-40 split.
Right.
I don't think it's going to be... I think it might even be closer than that. Like right now, it's literally 54-46. Right. I heard in camp.
And Melvin has more, right?
Yeah, and Melvin's the one with 54.
Yep.
So, which is crazy, like.
Right.
But I love it. Like Melvin Gordon is good.
Yeah, he's legit, bro. So yeah, I think that's enough talk for the Broncos. I think they're gonna be super solid, but like we're saying, it's kind of hinging on their wide receiver core, and hopefully their running back room can continue as well. So onto the Chiefs. I personally think that they're gonna have a regression.
Well, what did they end with last year? They probably ended the same record as you guys?
Yeah, 12-5 or 11-6. Let's see.
So, I mean, I think they regressed from that just because the division got so much better, and because obviously they lost their best receiver. They
were 12-5, yeah.
Yeah, 12-5. Mm-hmm. So obviously losing Tyreek Hill is huge, and replacing him with Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
Yep.
Juju Smith-Schuster. Sky Moore.
Not it.
It's not gonna replace it's quality over quantity.
Right.
And
I'm sorry.
Tyreek Hill is a top 5 receiver in the NFL, probably top 3. Mm-hmm. So you're not just going to replace him with these B, C tier,
Right.
D tier wide receivers.
Right.
Like,
Juju as your number one sucks. I'm sorry.
it does suck.
That's not good. You
well,
lived it.
honestly though, but Kelsey is their number one.
That's fair.
So
That's
we have
fair.
to. We always have
I'm
to.
not sleeping on Travis Kelce. Let
Yeah.
me get this straight. I'm not sleeping on Mahomes. I'm not sleeping on Travis Kelce. But I think their passing game is going to take a hit because
Yeah.
Juju has rock hands and he sucks.
He's
and,
injury prone now.
Yep. MVS. I like Mecole Hardman personally. He's pretty fast, but he's not. He doesn't get those like physical catches most of the time. He's better in like slant kind of like drag routes where he's getting the ball and using his speed to escape it from there.
Here's my bold prediction about the Chiefs.
All right, let me get it.
This is my bold prediction.
All right, I'm
Mecole Hardman will lead the Chiefs in receiving yards. Well,
Wow.
besides Travis Kelce.
Right,
I'm saying
okay.
the Chiefs
Wide
receivers.
receivers. Wide receivers,
The
yeah.
Chiefs wide receivers. He will lead them in receiving yards by over 200.
Wow.
Over
So how many yards did you
200.
get?
I think he gets over 1,000 yards.
Wow.
Because this is
Mecole
this
over-
is it.
okay.
This is
That's
my
strong.
explanation.
Okay.
Andy Reid in the past,
Uh-huh.
what did he do with Deshaun Jackson in Philly? He made him over
Fed
1,000 yards. Absolutely fed him. Speedster. This entire career, he made
Yeah.
him. I mean, is he gonna be I think he should be Hall of
Dude,
Famer.
Deshaun Jackson?
Yeah, I think, bro.
He just
At
doesn't
least
have
for
the-
special teams.
He did, that's fair. Yeah, I guess if Devin Hester made it in, he probably should too.
Yeah,
But he just doesn't have the longevity. He keeps getting injured all the time.
but still, even with his like special teams role and his offensive role,
Mhm.
I think he makes it in. But that's nonetheless
Yeah.
about Deshaun Jackson. We're
Yeah.
talking about the Chiefs. So Andy Reid did that with Deshaun Jackson. I also think, I mean, obviously he did that with Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
So I think Mecole Hardman is now going to take that step, and Andy Reid is going to give him that role. Because I don't think they tried to do it with Marquez Valdez-Scantling. I think they really wanted him to replace Tyreek Hill as a speedster, but he has stone hands too. He's
Yeah.
not catching anything in training camp.
Yep.
Like he's never really been that good either. Like he's
Right,
always
even
kind of
to
had
begin with.
he's always kind of had trouble with drops in
Right.
Green Bay.
Yep.
Like he's never been that good.
Yeah, he
So-
fumbled that game to the Colts away, I remember.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So like you said though, Mecole Hardman, obviously I don't think he's going to be anything like Tyreek Hill or
Mhm.
Deshaun Jackson, but I think he will take over that role,
Yeah.
and I think he'll go over 1,000 yards. I think he'll have more than Juju. I think he'll have more than Sky Moore, more than Valdez-Scantling.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm excited
That's
to
my
see.
hot take.
Yeah, I think he's a big playmaker. He's really, really hot, like speedster, like blazing speed. But yeah, I just think overall their receiver core is going to be having a tough time.
Yeah.
And if there was an answer to Travis Kelce, then maybe the team would be having a tough time. But there really isn't one. So I think it's going to be a super solid team, and I think their running game is going to lack the longer that they hold on to Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
I like the addition of Ronald Jones, though.
I do too, and I don't understand why they went away from Jerick McKinnon after that great playoff game that he had. I know that he's a little old, but
he's
like,
old, and didn't he tear his Achilles? It was
that was the
before,
right.
Yeah, I know
exactly.
before, not
right.
like-
He's definitely not the same Jerick McKinnon when he was on the Vikings. Way back when
Yeah.
that was on the New Orleans game, right, where
Yeah.
the Minneapolis Miracle. He's definitely not that guy, but he looked really strong in the playoffs with like 10 to 15 carries.
Yeah.
So I think a Ronald Jones, Jerick McKinnon backfield would be better than anything that CEH is doing.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And, yeah. Nah, I can't say. That's just wrong. I'm sorry.
Okay, I was gonna say.
Nah. He looked good in that one game, but he's like, even though I'm super low on CEH, he's not worse than Jerick McKinnon, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That ain't true.
I was like, that's egregious.
Nah, that's just not even close, bro. But yeah, I am super low on CEH, and I think Ronald Jones is definitely better than him.
Okay. I mean, I don't know if he's better than him, but I think he should be getting more work than him. I don't think Clyde Edwards-Helaire is a 3-down back.
No, definitely not.
Like, he's more of a change of pace back.
Right.
Like a backup.
Yep, that's what I'm thinking.
But Ronald Jones is also a backup.
Yep.
At this point in his career. I mean, he will probably... I like Ronald Jones. I think he'll be... I think he'll have a decent role on that team, but...
Yeah. And I think their defense is slightly improved as well. I'm interested to see what George Karlaftis can do.
Yeah.
I've heard that guy's a monster and just has a unrelenting motor, but really didn't get a lot of sacks in college.
Yeah.
So, if he's just... Maybe he can be that kind of pressure guy, but, if he ends up just being someone who can, tire out an offensive lineman but not really stop the quarterback, that's not going to be what they need. Derek Nottie had an okay season. Chris Jones, I think, did a great job when he got moved back to nose tackle in the middle of the season last year. And Frank Clark is consistently very strong as well. Nick Bolton had an excellent season. And then they drafted that guy for a cornerback as well as their other corner, L'Jarius Sneed.
Yeah.
And,
I don't know. I think their secondary sucks.
Yeah, their safeties are trash.
I don't think Trent McDuffie was really the best pick for them either.
I think Elam is better than McDuffie, personally.
I mean, Trent McDuffie's a good nickel corner, but that's not really what they needed.
Exactly.
They don't have a shutdown corner.
And Sneed is solid, but he's not a shutdown corner.
He's not a cornerback one. Like, you're not going to put him on Tyreek Hill, Cooper Kupp, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase.
Diggs,
done.
Diggs. Well, we saw what happened when they put it
it's he's not going to be able to cover these guys.
Yeah, or Gabe Davis even.
That's why I don't.
And this division is loaded with solid wide receivers. So the fact that there's secondary
Keenan Allen,
is so
Devontae
scary.
Adams,
right? Exactly.
Like, that guy's not going to be able to cover.
Yeah, exactly. Mike Williams too.
Even if Cortland Sutton and if Jerry Jeudy really plays to his potential, too. Like.
Exactly.
He just really has to take that step this year. With Russell Wilson, there's no more excuses for Jerry Jeudy.
Exactly. No, exactly. At this point, you can't say, "Oh, it's the quarterback."
Yeah.
Like there's no more excuses. So yeah, I think the Chiefs slightly regress. I definitely.
Where do you think they end though? Around
in the division or the record?
Like their record.
They'll probably still get 10 to 11 wins, I think.
You think so?
Yeah. I would put it at 10.5 if I had to do it over-under, and I'd probably say over if that was the number.
Mahomes and Travis Kelce are just that
right.
good.
No, Mahomes is just incredible. Like, I've seen Aaron Rodgers, pull corpses as wide receivers and have, like, a positive record. Like, I think Mahomes can do it as well. And not, Rodgers, obviously, over his career has been better, but right now Mahomes is a better quarterback than Rodgers, just straight up. Like, so, yeah. Anyways, Chiefs, I don't think are my winner. Just looking through it. So, yeah. All right. I love that. And on to what I think is the worst team in the division, but they're still so good. The Raiders. So, quarterback Derek Carr, what do you got to say about him?
So, Derek Carr, I love Derek Carr.
Yeah.
I don't think he's like a top 5 quarterback or anything, but neither is Matthew Stafford, and he just won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I mean, I think Derek Carr, I think he's really going to have a good season. I think Devontae Adams...
got the weapons.
Yeah, he has the weapons. The run game is what I'm concerned about.
Yeah, Josh Jacobs, I'm not big on him.
He's such a snoozer. Like, he just sucks.
Right, he just puts me to sleep.
Like, I literally think
he was electric his first season, but he's just injured at this point. He's not the same guy.
He's just not motivated. He looks sluggish.
Yeah.
Like, I literally think Kenyon Drake is better than him.
Yeah.
I seriously
he was having a better year until
I think Zamir White might already
be
better than him.
Yeah,
he was looking good.
It looks like Zamir White is the number 2 running back right now on the depth chart, which is interesting. Yeah. Kenny Drake is the 4th right now. Amir Abdullah is over Drake at the moment.
I don't know about
that. That doesn't sound right, but we'll see.
But I still love Devontae Adams. I love Hunter Renfrow.
Yeah.
I love Darren Waller.
Yep.
That druggie. He needs to stay healthy, though, and stop injecting himself.
Yep.
Stop sharing needles.
And Jakob Johnson.
Jakob Johnson.
Yeah, he was on the Patriots last year. He was a big part of why their running game was so bruising. So, maybe... I know Zamir White is more of a pass catcher kind of running back normally, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he probably won't be going up the middle, but I mean maybe that'll help Josh Jacobs' case.
I don't know though. He looked really big in the Hall of Fame.
Zamir White?
Yeah, he looked big. So I don't know.
Maybe he's good for all of it.
I think if they really lean on him and just have Kenyon Drake play his role and just trade Josh Jacobs, that would be the best thing for them because Alex Leatherwood sucks.
Trash.
He's complete shit, and he's starting for them.
He's a false start call. Yeah, that's the thing that I'm so concerned about. I've been talking over and over again about how good all the O-line of all these playoff contenders are.
Yeah.
This might be the worst O-line.
Their O-line sucks.
I mean, none of it's
Colton
good.
Miller's good.
I was just about to say, their left tackle is pretty strong, but, I mean, god dang.
I think John Simpson's
He's been okay, right? Yeah. I don't know if they have the rankings here or not, but I know he's definitely not in the upper echelon of the linemen or anything like that. And I know that they had okay play, but it was definitely not. I mean, it was probably in the 20s last year.
Yeah. So
the upper 20s.
That's what's really gonna hold them back.
Yeah.
And honestly, when we first started talking about this, I thought they would probably be my favorite to win the division, but that O-line's so bad.
Yeah, the
and
O-line's
they have
trash.
no run game.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think
not big on Josh Jacobs.
They're going to lean on Josh Jacobs, which I don't think they should.
Right.
And I don't think... I mean, their defense, they did get Chandler Jones.
Yes.
To add with Max Crosby.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really big.
That's a huge... But again, Chandler Jones has to be healthy, otherwise it doesn't matter.
He only really looked good that first game. He still did have a lot of sacks last year. He still was Chandler Jones, had a lot of forced fumbles too. But
yeah.
He's still... How old is he now? Like 33?
Yeah, he's got to be. Old. He's got to be in his 30s for sure.
So, how old is he?
32.
32.
Yep. So yeah, but yeah, dude, like their secondary is kind of suspect. I know Divine.
They traded for Rocky Sin.
Right, Rocky Sin, but he's not. He's an okay corner. He's not a number one.
Yeah.
I don't think. And
he's not a number
one. He could be, but I know Trayvon Mullen was playing pretty good for him down the stretch there. But I mean, come on, man. I know Trayvon Morig is also a high level prospect, and I like the way Jonathan Abram plays, but he hasn't really done anything.
Yeah.
He's been suspect in coverage at best, and he hits big, so it looks cool, but. He really has to improve his coverage skills. And Denzel Perryman had a great year last year, but Divine Diablo and Jayon Brown are both kind of big question marks in that linebacker core.
Yeah.
And I think overall that just makes it a little suspect.
Yeah, they're a suspect team. I think. I still am really excited to see their passing game.
Definitely, Devontae Adams and Darren Waller is dangerous, and then Hunter Renfrow is just going to be carving up the middle.
If they have kind of Chiefs style offense, then I think they're going to be really good. Because Derek Carr does have sneaky legs too.
Yeah,
he does have sneaky legs. He's an athlete. So if they don't lean on the run game, which I pray to God they don't. They really should not. Then I think that they can be really solid.
That is the Josh McDaniel special, though. So
that is true.
And we've also seen him be absolutely terrible as a head coach in the past. So
that's also true.
Goes. Yeah,
but that's the thing about Josh McDaniels too, which I forgot to mention, is that he might include more Zamir White than we think, and that would be really good.
But he is the king of carousels.
Yeah,
so he's probably on the 3 running back plan.
Yeah, the 10 carries.
Yeah,
for
10, yeah.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. But yeah, that's all I have to say about the Raiders. I think they're going to be a fun team to watch, but I unfortunately think that they are going to be one of those teams that we have to put a reluctant X on when it comes time to January. So yeah. On to the next, we are on the Chargers, who I'm really excited for, honestly.
Yeah.
This is one of the teams I'm most excited to watch this year, just because Justin Herbert is so fun, and I'm big on Austin Eckler. Their wide receiver core looks good. I think Gerald Everett was a nice pickup for them, just because their tight end room needed just a little bit of help.
Yeah.
And they've been really focusing on their O-line. Rashawn Slater already looks like an all-pro lineman.
Yeah, he's already a...
I don't think he won All Pro last year, but he was definitely on
he either made the Pro Bowl.
He was a rookie. He definitely was all rookie, right?
Yeah. Yeah. He was something like that.
Yeah, and I think he might have made the Pro Bowl as well.
But no, he is really good, and
Zion Johnson was a huge pickup in the draft as well.
Yeah, they're definitely looking really good. Their O-line has taken a huge step, which it's always looked pretty bad, but it's looking a lot better now. They're filling in the holes. Keenan Allen comes back for another year. He hasn't really had. He used to be pegged as injury prone.
Right.
I definitely don't see it anymore.
Not in the last couple of years, no.
Yeah.
And Mike Williams really took a step last year. Justin Herbert's obviously big on him.
And they gave him a good deal, too.
Yep.
So he's going to be back. He's going to be happy. And then I think Josh Palmer has a good year, too, as the number 3.
Yeah. He impressed me. He had a couple big plays.
And I still like Jalen Guyton, too. I think he has...
That's a good number 2.
I think he has a solid role in that.
Really solid number 2. And Joshua Kelly is going to be good for the short yardage, but he has been shown to be too turnover prone to really get any real time, I think.
No. Fuck Joshua Kelly.
All right. Not big on him at all.
Yeah.
All right, so now huge improvements that they made on the defense. So they picked up Sebastian Joseph Day, I believe they did not have, right? I think that's new. It was... Yeah, I think he played for someone else last year, and he's a really solid run stuffer.
Yeah.
And they were horrible against the run last year.
Yeah.
Horrible. And then obviously we got Joey Bosa and their new addition Khalil Mack on the other side.
That's terrifying.
Yep. And they picked up J.C. Jackson, best cornerback maybe in the league, but definitely the best one that was available in the offseason.
For sure, the best free agent.
Yeah, and, he's a pick artist. He's a shutdown corner. And their defense is looking really scary now.
Asante Samuel Jr. too last
year.
Right,
had a great year.
So good.
Yep, and so did Derwin James coming off those 2 years of straight injuries. He played every game last season, and he looked great.
Yeah, on paper, I think this is my favorite to win the division.
Yep.
Because they're just so good. They really just... don't really have many holes anymore. Like,
right.
As long as they can stay healthy and just keep that momentum. And that's the thing, though, is that they might get, a little... Like, this division is going to... They're going to lose games in this division.
Exactly.
Like,
and this is a team that's not very deep. As I'm looking at the depth chart and stuff like that. Yeah. Like, I feel like if Mike Williams or Keenan Allen gets injured, they're going to be in a rough spot.
Yeah, they're definitely going to be in a rough spot because I don't think Gerald Everett can really take over. Like, he's a good tight end. He's not a great tight end at all whatsoever.
No, not great.
I'm also not even that high on Sharman Donald Parham.
Yeah.
Like, is that guy still in a coma?
Oh my goodness.
No, but I'm not that high on him. I think that Isaiah Spiller isn't really a good pick.
Oh, really? You're not big on Spiller at all?
I'm not big on Spiller.
Really? I liked him. I liked his college career. I thought he was a really, really productive running back, and I think he's going to be a nice change of pace back for Austin Eckler because they run kind of in a different style.
But I'm saying if Austin Eckler gets injured, Isaiah Spiller is going to be not good.
Not good. And that's why, my opinion, division favorites the Broncos just because of how deep they are.
Really?
They have a really solid team. Yep, and I think it's going to be tough for them to overcome the Chiefs, but I believe in their coach. He led Aaron Rodgers as an offensive coordinator to a bunch of good years, and you can't. I know Aaron Rodgers is a very talented player. You can't really give all the credit to the coach.
Yeah.
But I mean, he wasn't winning the MVP before he got there.
Yeah.
And then he won it the 2 years that he was the OC. So.
Yeah. Well, that's also due to psychedelics.
Yes, that's right. I forgot. Ayahuasca is the only solution for Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, he was microdosing.
Yeah.
So.
Well, who knows, dude? It's Denver, so maybe Russ will start microdosing and get really cooking.
Oh my god.
Russ is fried.
Bro, no. Russ is already fried. I think it's them or the Raiders that'll finish bottom of the division. I just don't I don't see the Chiefs really I don't see Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce finishing as the worst team in the division unless one of those two players is injured.
Right.
Then, there could really be some trouble. But the Raiders, it's just the running game is what really holds them back.
And the O-line, bro, is horrible.
And the O-line.
That's what's got me. Okay, so think about the D-line that they're facing against as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So, not only is their O-line bad, but they got to face Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack, George Karlaftis, Chris Jones, and Kenny
Clark.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not Kenny Clark. It's
isn't
Frank Clark.
Frank Clark.
Yeah.
Frank Clark. Yeah.
And then the Broncos have Nick Chubb, Bradley Chubb, and Brady Gregory, who they picked up off the free agency, as well as Draymond Jones, who's been a pretty impressive role player for them. Yeah. So this is tough.
Yeah.
That's gonna be tough to keep Derek Carr upright.
Yeah.
So they're my fourth. I think the Chiefs are going to be third, as crazy as that sounds.
Do they make the playoffs? Oh, we can see. We can see who make the playoffs.
Right. Yeah. Actually, yeah, we should. Here, let's do the exercise. I should have a pen over here.
Okay.
Let's go. All right.
You're crossing out 9 teams?
Yeah. You got to cross out 9 teams.
Okay.
Because let's wrap up the, anything else to really say about the AFC West in general?
Yeah. Not really.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much everything I have to say. We mentioned that it's going to just be an incredible time to watch it. All those games are a must on Red Zone on one TV, those games on the other. Because they're just going to be incredible. They should all be prime time. So, all right, let's go ahead and do this exercise. So, the Browns are out.
Yeah.
The Jets are out. The Jags and the Texans are out.
Oh, and you ripped a hole in your paper.
Yep, we need a hard surface there. All right, Texans are done. Patriots, gone? I think they have to be.
So
1, 2, 3, 4. So we need to cross off 3 teams. Yep, cut.
All right. Cut the Ravens.
Ravens? I think the Raiders are the easier cut than the Ravens.
Okay, so let's talk about this.
So we have 5 teams that we've cut so far. So we need to cut 4 more. So
I think we cut both then.
So, okay, yeah. Raiders and Ravens are gone. So
dude,
we have the Bengals and the Steelers coming out of the north, the Colts and the Titans coming out of the south, the Bills and the Dolphins coming out of the east, and then the Broncos, Chiefs, and Chargers coming out of the west. And we need to cut 1 more team.
We need to cut 2 more, I thought.
2, 4, 6. So right now the Ravens, the Texans, the Browns, and the Jags, the Patriots, and the Jets are out.
So we
have to cut 2 more. Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's cut 2 more.
So that's 7. Yeah, and the Raiders are out as well.
Okay. The Steelers might have to get cut, but
Yeah.
No, I just counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah.
9 left.
Right.
So we cut 2.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
Okay. I don't think... I mean, I know you said you have the Broncos winning the division. I don't think they do.
Yeah. All right. I mean...
But... What are your
But,
thoughts?
like, they don't make the playoffs at all? That's crazy.
I know, that is crazy.
Oh, my God.
Honestly,
all right, I think the Titans are gone. I think the Titans have to be cut. Cause,
they just won the AFC, though.
Right. I know, but
without Derrick Henry.
That's true, bro. But he's coming back off of injury, and they lost A.J. Brown.
But he's coming back.
He is coming back. But they lost A.J. Brown, and he is responsible for, like, almost all their yards last year.
But I think in this case, where I said quality over quantity, I think that replacing him with Treylon Burks and Robert Woods makes it better for Ryan Tannehill. No, maybe not better, but at least even. Possibly better. Yeah. Depending on if Treylon Burks is really that guy.
Right. But, I mean, how many wins do you think the division winner of this is going to come out with?
Bro.
Because that's the real question.
Yeah, that's true.
Because the Colts or the Titans are going to come out for sure. But are they going to come out with 10 wins or 11 wins?
One of them is probably not going to make it.
Exactly. But I think the Colts are better than the Titans. But, like, are they going to get more wins? That's the question.
I don't think the Colts will. I think the Titans will get more. I really do. That's what's crazy. I think the Titans will.
Oh my
I think
God,
Mike
dude.
Vrabel... I think Frank Reich is a really good coach, but I think Mike Vrabel is just insane.
The Colts are just so... Their roster is just so much better than the Titans right now.
I know, but
like,
it's
everything...
But
I mean,
Matt
everything
Ryan,
is better.
You take 37-year-old Matt Ryan over Ryan
Okay,
Tannehill.
except for the quarterback. But the Colts O-line is better. The Colts running back is better. The Colts wide receivers are better.
I think the Titans have better wide receivers.
Really? Better than... Well, I guess Alec Pierce is unproven, so at this point it's hard to say. But Pittman is a better wide receiver than either of the Titans wide receivers, I would say.
I think that, but behind that,
right.
I think...
It's kind of a toss-up.
Westbrook,
it's new stuff.
Akine, or
that's for the Titans, yeah.
He's good.
Yeah.
Like, he's their third receiver, and he had a good year. So
yeah.
I think the Titans are going to be better, but... And even if Ryan Tannehill's trash, they put in Malik Willis.
But Malik Willis is trash.
He could be trash too. But at least they have. If Matt Ryan gets injured, who do they put in? They don't have Jacoby Brissett anymore. Like, who do they even have?
Still I have no idea who the backup is.
Still that old, 5th round pick or whatever who he was.
I have no idea.
I'm saying, bro. I'm telling you.
I don't think it's Jacob Eason. I think it's.
Yeah, I think that is who I was thinking. Jacob Eason.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they shipped him to someone else. God, this is so tough, bro.
Bro, I'm telling you.
This is literally ridiculous. Well, because even if we do that, then we got to cross out 2 more.
No, just...
Here, let me see who the Colts back up. Nick Foles, bro. Colts got it. Colts got it. Big Dick Nick coming in with Frank Reich, too, bro.
Dude.
Oh, my
They might both make it. They might both make it.
But, I mean, I think the Steelers and the Bengals are coming out of the North, though. I mean, like... The Steelers are a toss-up just because of the quarterback stuff.
And the AFC is tough.
It's just, yeah.
I don't know, though, bro. They got better at every position.
Literally. And even, they got better at quarterback, too.
I know.
Because they had a literal bag of bones as their quarterback last year.
Bro,
Dude, what the hell? All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
I think
6, 7, 8,
I think
9.
we cut the Dolphins.
Oh. Really?
What else did they have besides? I mean, they did. Well,
their defense is incredible already, and then they drafted good, and then they added the O lineman and the wide receiver. Though. They do.
New coach, and they're cheaters.
Okay, bet.
I think we cut them, bro.
Oh, but they're better than the Titans, in my opinion. I think they'll have more wins than the Titans next year.
I don't think so.
Really?
I think it'll be close, bro. I mean, it's close with all these teams that we have remaining. That's for sure.
But you know what? I'm going to go with the new coach. I think that's actually really fair.
Yeah.
I think Vrabel has the advantage over a new coach.
Yeah. Vrabel has a culture in Tennessee that he's, cemented.
All right, so these guys are locks, in my opinion.
Those two.
I think the Chiefs are locks, honestly. I think they're going to make it.
I think the Chiefs are locks, yeah.
Even though I think they might be third in the division, I mean, dude, there's just no way.
That doesn't make sense.
There's just no way. One of these two teams is going to be first or third.
Well, I think the Chargers are going to be first. And you think that the Broncos are going to be first.
Right. But I think the Chargers are going to be second, so I think we can lock them into the playoffs.
Yeah, I think we can do that. So, who do we have? That's
1,
4
2,
locks.
3, 4 locks.
We need a lock here.
Yeah.
and we can't.
I think we got to cut the Steelers, bro.
I think we probably do.
I hate to do it because I want them to get there, but I think the quarterback situation is just too suspect.
Yeah,
I think it's boom or bust because I could really see them going like 11-6 or 12-5, or like struggling and going like 7-10, 8-9.
Yeah, I mean, we really have to see what Mitch Trubisky looks like.
Exactly.
But they could easily make it. Like that's the thing.
Yes, exactly. No,
like any of the teams that we just like those 9, and even the Ravens could easily make it.
Exactly.
Like, if they stay healthy, like those 10 could really make it, but. I mean, I even think the Raiders could too.
Wait, hold on.
If they're
2, 4, 6, 7. Oh, that's all of them, I think.
Yeah, so we have the Colts and the Titans in there.
Right. So Bengals, Colts, Titans, Bills, Broncos,
and one
Chiefs,
of those
Chargers.
One of those two teams in the AFC West or South, I mean,
could easily be replaced by the Dolphins or the Steelers, in my opinion.
Or even the Ravens.
Right.
Raiders.
Whoever doesn't win the South, I think. Yeah. The 7th seed is going to be crazy.
Yeah.
Whoever the 8th seed is this year would smack the shit out of whoever the 7th seed in the NFC is. I don't even know who it is yet.
Oh,
but
you're
saying the
NFC. Yeah.
Right, yeah. Like whoever gets bubbled out of the playoffs is going to destroy whoever in like a real game if they play. Hopefully they do, because that'd be kind of cool.
They would not.
But I mean, like in the regular season, we know. Yeah. You know, like they just beat them like 40-10 or something in the regular season. It's just like, dude.
Bro, I even think the 9th team in the AFC could be I think there's going to be some, because I think last year the Colts that got bounced out of the playoffs were a really strong team. Yeah.
And I think this year it might be a team that's even stronger than that doesn't make it. So just to recap, the teams that we have making the playoffs out of the AFC, we got
the Bills are first for sure.
Bills first. Second,
would you say is second
would probably be Chargers.
I think it'd be the Bengals.
Chargers or the Bengals. Yeah.
I think.
Oh yeah, they're right because these guys are gonna be fighting so much. Yeah. So number 2 Bengals.
Yeah.
Number 3 Chargers.
But unless
here, let me write this down too, so I'll keep this piece of paper.
The thing about the Bengals too is what I said is one domino falls, it's gonna be the Steelers division. But if that domino doesn't fall, they're gonna be number 2. Like they're still gonna be good. But who do you have as 4?
These are 4 needs to be the Colts because they're gonna win the division.
No, it'll be the Titans though.
All right. We're gonna have to split that up. Let me write down split
the 4 seed
here.
will be AFC. South.
Yeah. I think the AFC South's gonna have the worst record for sure.
Wait, I don't know though. It could be the West too, because one of these two teams.
And that's fair, honestly. Like these
they're
guys
gonna
are all
sweep them.
Yeah, they're all racking up 4 wins.
Yeah.
Shit.
I don't know the order, but
this is what we'll guess.
Yeah.
So 1, 2.
We were also split on the
3,
AFC West
4.
too. Though.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
So we'll see.
Yep. And these guys would be 7 in this scenario. So all right, that makes sense. Split on winner.
So who did we put as?
So I would say the winner is the Chargers. I can agree with that just for the sake of like having one original agreement. But
and you think? But I was thinking.
And I think it's
the Chiefs as 5.
Yeah, I think the Chiefs are gonna have the best record, but that didn't win a division.
Okay.
That just makes sense to me.
Yeah.
And then 6th would be the Titans, and number 7 would be the Broncos.
Colts. Or Colts.
Right. Yes. Exactly. Broncos. Colts. Yes. Correct. Sorry.
I think the Titans win it.
Yeah. I'm gonna be curious. Like I said, those matchups are gonna be great. They're always like aggressive and like really a lot of like after the play kind of stuff happening. And I think this year it's gonna be even more bad blood because they both know that they can be competitors.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that about wraps it up for the AFC. So it was great talking, and I think I'm very excited to hear when every single one of our predictions come true 100%.
Yeah, I mean they're going to.
Because we can't be we've never been wrong before.
I've never been wrong in my life.
That's right. Okay. Awesome. Right. Well, we'll be back here soon for the NFC one.
Yes, sir. See you fuckers later.